you are too damn hard on yourself. And the truth is, it is not helping you in any way. It's not helping you get to your goals the way that you think it is. It's not going to bring you success or whatever it is that you want any sooner or any faster. It's actually just making it 10 times harder. I have been obsessed with personal development since I was like 18. I am obsessed with the concept of coming to this earth and being my highest, most loving, most expansive, abundant version of myself. And I think truly that that is the key to happiness in this life is self-actualization and learning to like just be the best version of you that you can be. I think it's overcoming your traumas, overcoming your own ego, and learning to really just embody your best self. But with that being said, there's another side of that that can get very critical, very dark, and it is a good way for your ego to come and place fear in yourself. And it makes you doubt yourself, it makes you question yourself, it makes you criticize yourself. So while it is important that you have that desire to better yourself and to want to be the best version of you, to want to be 1% better every day, it is also extremely important, and I would say even more so important, that you learn to truly love and accept yourself as you are and love and accept yourself in any state. And that does not include criticizing yourself. That doesn't include constantly making yourself feel bad or making yourself feel like you're not enough. You already have so many people doing that. You do not need to be an extra weight on your own shoulders, okay? You are 100% capable of everything it is that you want to accomplish. And I know it and you know it, because if not, you wouldn't be going after it. You know that you are able to do that thing that it is that you want to do. You know that you are able to fulfill that wonderful dream of yours or fulfill that purpose that you know that you have, okay? But it can be very, very difficult when you're someone who is always trying to better yourself. You never actually, you can get very caught up and never actually take the time to show yourself love and appreciation. This is the key to truly, truly getting the life that you want and being the person that you want to be. It all starts with love. There are two emotions. There are literally only two emotions in this world, and it is love and fear. And other emotions just branch off of those two. So when you are looking at a thought or an emotion, you need to ask yourself, is this coming from a place of love or is this coming from a place of fear? The very first step to this is becoming aware of it. I want you to really look at and think about and reflect on when you accomplish something, or even if it's not even an accomplishment, just when you do something. When you do something that you know you're supposed to do or that you know is in alignment with the life that you want and the person that you want to become, what is the first couple thoughts that come after? Do you ever actually sit and tell yourself, I'm proud of you? Do you ever sit and be grateful for your own self, like to your own self, and say, like, wow, like, thank you so much for showing up for me today. Thank you so much for, taking this action towards the life that I want, because that is true self-love. True self-love is regularly showing up for yourself and accepting yourself no matter what, no matter the conditions, okay? And the more and more that you do that, let's say that, okay, your goal is to start going to the gym. You want to be a gym girl. You've never worked out before. You don't know anything about working out, but you want to be a gym girl. That is a goal for you, okay? So you start going to the gym and, let's say you set the goal that I want to go to the gym every Monday and I'm going to hit legs. So you go to the gym Monday, you hit legs, and you'll probably feel kind of good about yourself. You're probably going to feel silly because, it's the first time you're ever doing this, but you learn to do that. You start getting in the routine of going to the gym every Monday. And eventually you can work it up to going to the gym on Monday and Tuesday and then Monday and Wednesday and so on, right? So let's say you're past the point of being a beginner. You're now in the middle. I'm talking to the people who are in the middle of their personal development journey or in the middle of their journey. You're at the in between of who you used to be and who you want to be. And you're becoming that person. No one ever talks about this shit. No one ever talks about how hard it is to be stuck in the middle of it, because you are showing up every single day and yet you are still not reaping any benefits. There is no logical reason that you should keep going because you have seen no results from it and yet you keep going. That is so, so impressive. And if you're doing that in any aspect of your life, whether it's, again, the gym and your fitness, whether it's work, whether it's, pursuing something new that you've never done, whether it's school, you should be so proud of yourself. Instead of telling yourself oh my God, I'm so proud of myself because I'm showing up every day. And as humans, we tend to focus on the negative, especially if your mindset is already pointed towards the best version of you. So if you're always thinking about the best version of me, what would the best version of me do? Okay. Well, she would go to the gym 5 times a week. You miss the gym and you don't hit that mark and you don't go 5 times a week. And instead, let's say you went 4 times this week or you went 3 times this week. You might beat yourself up over that one day that you didn't go to the gym. You don't hit that mark of the highest version of yourself. You automatically, your brain is going to look for the days that you don't reach that point because your brain is primed for being that highest version. Does that make sense? Like if you are constantly looking at this like gorgeous statue, right? Like you're looking at this beautiful glowing statue, which is your highest self. Let's imagine this, okay? There's this gorgeous glowing statue, right? And before you get to that gorgeous glowing statue, there are some, other statues leading up to it, each one looking a little bit more like that statue, but not as magnificent, not as beautiful, just not completely there yet, right? But imagine every time you'd say you're walking up like a staircase of these statues, okay? And you're walking up to the most pretty one, the most beautiful one, right? You are naturally going to look at the other statues in comparison to the pretty statue. And you're going to find what makes them different from that statue. And you're going to look at it in a negative way. And you're going to notice that first before you notice, oh, wow, look at how this statue in the middle here on the like 15th step of this staircase is so much more put together than the very first statue that I saw at the bottom of the staircase. Does that make sense? As you know, you are in charge of your brain. Your brain is just a computer, and you are the one who gets to code it and program it. And if you program your brain to look for the success instead of just the end result and what is missing from the end result, I promise you, your life is going to get so much better. And this weird in between, stuck in the middle period is going to feel like you are already that statue. And that is exactly what you want, because that is exactly how you're actually going to become that highest version of yourself. It's not just about walking the walk, it's about actually embodying it. And your highest self, if you were your highest self right now, you would feel like you are just so proud of yourself. You would feel so accomplished. You would feel so worthy. You would feel so beautiful. You would feel so in love with yourself because look at how in love you are with the version of yourself that you aren't yet. So it's like you need to show up every day and treat yourself every day like you are the highest version of yourself because you are. It is still you, you know? But I feel like with personal development, we get so caught up in looking at the ways that you failed. Again, failure is not even real, but it's like in the ways that you failed or the ways that you fell short. And especially when you're in that middle period where you're just doing this over and over and over again. Every day you're going to the gym, or every week you're showing up at the gym, but then you pay attention to that one day that you didn't go. So I want you to become aware of how do you actually react when you show up for yourself. Is there no reaction? Just it's silence. You're not even acknowledging the fact that you're showing up for yourself. Is it you are actually becoming critical of yourself and you're looking at all the ways that you didn't do as much as you wish you did? You want to get to the point where you can actually like acknowledge what it is you've done and how far you've come. I was actually talking to my friend about this the other day. Like she is literally the most amazing human I've ever met in my life. I think she is fucking miraculous. Like the amount of things that she has just like gone through and like worked through and overcame and to be the person that she is now, like it is so amazing. I'm telling her like she needs to write a fucking book because I'm like, girl, your life is so freaking inspirational, truly. Like, but we were talking about this and I was telling her, like, I was literally like in awe of her. I was like, girl, you are so amazing. Like, I am so proud of you. I'm so inspired by you. Like, I'm literally in awe of how much you have done to get to the point that you are. And she looked at me and she was like, well, like I don't really think anything of it. I don't think it's anything crazy because like, like that's just me. Like that's just like my life and that's what it's been. That's what I had to do. It's not like I really tried to, but that's just what I had to do. And that really, really sat with me because I was like, she's so fucking right. Like, I want you to think about all of the things that you have overcome. You have gone through them and just all of the ways that you've changed. Like, I want you to really, really get some perspective and look at who you were a year ago from today. Look at who you were a year ago from today. I can promise that you can find so many ways that you've improved. And like you have not even taken the time to acknowledge that, right? And you never do. you never actually sit down with yourself and reflect and be like, God damn, I have done so much and I'm doing so much constantly. And like, you don't praise yourself for it. And a lot of people can't even like accept praise for it either. Like when someone tells them like, you did a really good job, they literally are like thanks, but like I could have done better. And it's like, I hate when we do this because it's like, you should be proud of yourself. You should be so proud of yourself for the fact that you're even trying. You know how many people do not care? You know how many people do not even care about themselves? So many people do not care about themselves and could not care less about, making their own life better, making the life of people around them better. So the fact that you're even trying is so, so fucking impressive. And you should be proud of it. You should be so proud of it. You need to start giving yourself credit for the work that you're doing every single day. Because think about it like a child, okay? Because essentially you are a child, you are your inner child, right? And like when a kid does like a drawing and the drawing will be literally like scribbles and like crap. When they show you that drawing, one, they're so excited. They're so excited to come and show you and tell you like, "Oh my gosh, like look at what I did. Look at my drawing. Look at I did this." And especially when it's like they did it for you. Like they'll come up to you and they're like, "Look at I drew this for you." And naturally, you see that and you react like overjoyed. You're like, oh my gosh, like this is the best thing I've ever seen. Thank you so much. Like, I can't believe you did this for me. This is amazing, right? Like, you give them all this praise. And of course, the kid gets super happy and they're like, hee hee, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it encourages their creativity. And the thing is, because you recognize that they're young, you recognize that one, they did something super sweet for you, they showed up for you, they did something for you, they literally are putting an effort for you, and they're expressing their creativity to you. And that it's shitty to like stomp on that and like be like, yeah, this is just scribbles, like this is just not good, because you recognize that this is like the best thing they could ever give you, and they gave you their absolute best, and you take that and you see it for what it is. It's precious. You're like, wow, like thank you so much. And the thing is, you are that child, especially if you're like a content creator or an artist or anything that requires creativity. That version of you that is giving you that creative flow, that is your inner child. Your creativity comes from your inner child. So every time you look at your work or you look at your performance and you shit on it, or you tell yourself like, like it wasn't that good, or like I could have done better, like yeah, like I wasn't that happy with it, or you tell yourself, or like you just don't acknowledge anything, you don't even pay it any minds that you put so much work into this performance or this, art piece or whatever it is. You are literally taking that child's drawing and like either throwing it on the floor, or you're literally telling them like, yeah, it wasn't that good. Yeah, it's all right. It's not, you could have done better. Could you imagine actually saying that to a kid? You wouldn't. You would never do that. So why are you doing it to yourself? Especially when in this journey of personal development, you are trying to better yourself. Like you're trying to help yourself. You need to understand that like all versions of yourself are on your team, okay? All versions of yourself are on your team and on your side, and they all want the same thing. You as a child, you as a teenager, you now, and the highest version of yourself, they all want the same things. They all want for you to succeed. They all want to see you do well in whatever it is that you're pursuing, right? They all want to see you reach your goals. But you have this little thing called the ego, right? And the ego can get so confusing because like people say ego and they're like, what the fuck does that mean? Your ego is basically just your subconscious mind, right? And it is the part of you that was created when you were young. Within the first 7 years of your life, this is created. And any time that any experience you had hurt you, your ego steps in. Your ego is like your protector, okay? I want you to think of it as um like a bodyguard. Think of it as like kind of like a little bit like of a dumb bodyguard, okay? Like think like a caveman, right? All it knows is I need to protect this little kid and I need to keep them safe from harm. So anytime you experience any painful situation, which again could be fucking anything, it can be trauma with a capital T or a lowercase t. It can be as simple as, again, when you were a kid, you were drawing on the walls and your mom yelled at you, like anything, right? Anytime you're hurt, it takes that and it learns from it and it says, okay, and it creates a story. So if it was a story of you drawing on the wall, right, it says, okay, well, I am not safe to draw and create and express freely, right? That's the story that it creates. And so it is going to stunt you from doing that again, right? So now let's say that was you, okay? And now you're an artist. Every time you go to create something and you go to put your artwork out there is still that little voice and that story that sticks with you of, I can't create, I can't express my creativity. It's not good. I'm going to get yelled at, or people aren't going to like it, or whatever it is, right? It tells you these little stories because it thinks you're still a 7-year-old kid. It thinks you're still a little baby. And all it knows is when you were a baby, you did that, you got yelled at. It doesn't want you to experience that harm anymore. But the thing is, you're not a kid anymore. You're grown, okay? And it is your job as an adult to figure out, what are my stories? What has my ego been telling me since I was a kid, trying to keep me safe? Because you're literally operating off of a 7-year-old kid, you know? So that is so, so important to become aware of. Right? And even though your ego is what's holding you back, but the funny thing is your ego is still on your side. Like that, do you get what I'm saying? All parts of you are on your side. It just comes down to a matter of awareness. It comes down to a matter of becoming aware of the parts of you that are no longer serving you. Like those stories from when you were 7 are no longer serving you. They're actually stunting you. We grow, humans evolve. That is the whole point of this experience, is to evolve and become better. But you can't become better if you never look back and see the ways in which you are being held back by yourself. And it's not in a bad way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like you're holding yourself back because you don't want to see yourself succeed. It's you're holding yourself back because it's just outdated programming. Like your ego thinks it's doing you a favor. Your ego thinks it's helping you, but you are in control now. You're an adult. You can go back and become aware of it and tell yourself, like, no, 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 babe, that's not true anymore. We don't need that programming anymore. Actually, this belief is going to get us much further. Switching the belief of, when I express myself, I get in trouble, or when I express myself, I get yelled at, or people don't like it, or whatever it is, you change it to, expressing myself is my purpose. Expressing myself is my divine gift. And it is my job to share this with the world, because what I have to offer is amazing. You reinforce that to yourself, literally watch all those blocks go away. Watch all those feelings go away, right? Imagine you have like a brand new phone, okay? Like you're this new version of yourself. You're the iPhone 14 Max or 15 Max. I don't know which is the newest one. I don't know. I have a 14, so that's the newest one in my head. But you're the newest iPhone, right? But you are operating off of the software of like the very first iPhone. Like, do you think that you're going to be able to do all the things that the new iPhone is meant to do based off of using just that old software? No, it's not going to work because it's outdated. And that is exactly how it is with your ego stories and just all of your beliefs that were created when you were a child. So, I can make a video explaining exactly actually how to reprogram that, and how to, learn to reprogram your mind to make yourself that fully functioning iPhone, newest, greatest iPhone. So now you understand, right? That criticism that you have, that internal criticism, like I feel like so many people who are in the process of, bettering themselves and in their personal development like journey, they struggle with themselves a lot. Like there's this constant tug of war between this critical version of you and then the version of you that wants to do it. Like you feel like you're butting heads. And the reason that you feel that way is because that criticism, or that, oh, I'm not doing so good, or like, when you do something great, or you perform, or you put out your art, and it's that like that nasty little voice in the back of your head that's just like, oh, like it could have been better, or I could have done this. That's your ego. But the thing is, that is the aftermath of those stories being repeated to you over and over and over again. You've done this your whole life, okay? So now that you're actually here trying to express yourself, like it's subconscious. So you might think like, no, Isabella, like I'm past that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally here trying to make the artwork, trying to make the music, trying to do whatever it is, right? Trying to better myself. But you need to understand that that little critical voice, it's not you, okay? It's not coming from you. It's coming from software, old ass, outdated software that was meant to protect you when you were 7, okay? So this is your free warrant to like kick that shit out of there. That voice is not a credible source. Your ego is literally like a trained dog. Like it's sitting here barking at you and telling you all this stuff that is like, again, not helpful and it's not credible and you don't want to listen to it anymore. And you're the owner. This dog is trained, okay? If you say no, it's gonna fucking stop yapping, okay? But you are in control and you need to come back into control. So when you have these thoughts, when you have these criticisms, just become aware of it, okay? This is the like best advice I can give you is become aware of how you're reacting to when, you do something or you show up for yourself every day. The second best advice I can give for you is to overly appreciate how much you're doing for yourself. But like with a child, they need assurance. They need positive reassurance. If you want to encourage a behavior from a kid, you need to give them positive reassurance, like you do with the drawing. You tell them, this is so good. They're going to keep making you drawings. You need to do the same with yourself. So it always comes down to mirror work, y'all, literally. But what I want you to do when you're doing your mirror work, which you should be doing because we already talked about this, right? When you're hyping yourself up in the mirror, you're looking at yourself, you're telling yourself, I'm beautiful, I am worthy, I am deserving. You are also going to look at yourself and truly mean it. Like, really, really, for a second, sit in the feeling of, I made so many good choices today that are going to help me become the person I want to be. And I'm so thankful to myself for that. I'm so grateful. Like, talk to yourself in the mirror like it's another person and look yourself in the eyes and say, I'm so thankful for you. I'm so appreciative of what you're doing for me. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for loving me. I love you. I love you. I promise you, if you start doing this, your life is going to change. And the way that you look at personal development is going to change. And it's also going to be like, you have to keep doing this. You have to regularly give yourself that praise. You need to tell yourself, like, you did such a good job. I'm so proud of you, because even if at the end of your life you get to the goal that you wanted to get to, it's not going to feel as rewarding, as satisfying, as, like you're not going to feel as good about it if you the whole time hated your life and hated yourself because you were constantly like, you didn't do a good enough job. You're never going to feel like enough, even when you get to the point. So if you're anything like me and you have these huge ambitions, it can feel where I am right now feels very far away from where I want to be because, again, my goals are so huge, right? But at the same time, when I am here in my everyday life, right, and I'm going about my life, I am practicing gratitude. I'm being present in this moment because this is all we have is this present moment right now. I am practicing gratitude and being so appreciative to just be here right now, to just be this version of myself. Because again, I love all the versions of myself because all the versions of myself are the ones that got me to where I want to be, right? So I'm present in the moment. I'm grateful in the moment. And I am affirming myself. I'm telling myself, you're doing such a good job. You are doing so amazing and I'm so proud of you. And you need to be doing the same thing. And the truth is, my life is so much better. Like, please tell me that wasn't on my teeth this whole time, y'all. That would be foul. Okay. Anyways. The thing is, when I started doing this, I implemented this in my own life. Okay? At the end of the day, I think about the day that I had. I look back at all the things that I did today that were positive, and I feel that appreciation for myself. And I tell myself, like, great job, babe. Like, I'm so proud of you, right? And so I want you to start doing this too. I want you to, one, become aware of the thoughts and the feelings that come up when you accomplish something, or you not even accomplish something, like when you just show up for yourself, even in the mundane, even in the everyday, right? Just eating healthier, moving your body, right? Taking care of yourself, sitting with yourself, allowing yourself rest. Like, these are all things that deserve your recognition because it's taking care of you, right? You're taking care of yourself and you're putting in those everyday actionable steps to get to where it is you want to be. And that is huge because, again, you cannot get to day 60 without day 37 or day, 15 or day, 55, right? Like, you need to appreciate that every single day is a step towards who it is you want to become. And every day you are literally actively choosing to do that for yourself. And that you should be so proud of, truly. Even if it was a bad day, right? And you didn't do what you wanted to do that day, you can count the fact that you're looking back on it and reflecting as showing up for yourself, because it is. And you can promise yourself that tomorrow you're going to show up for yourself in this way, and this way, right? So you're going to start doing that at the end of every day. And you're going to look back and talk to the version of yourself that you were a year ago or 2 years ago, right? And like, imagine how you would feel from 2 years ago if you saw yourself now and that version of you came to you and told you, I'm so proud of you for what you're doing. I'm so proud of you for what you've done. They would look at you like you are amazing. They'd be like, wow, this, I could never imagine becoming this person. So seeing this person in front of me is crazy. Like, you are already that person. You're already that highest version of yourself. It's already within you every single day. It's just a matter of you choosing to move towards it or to move back to your old self. All right, guys, I hope that you like this video. I can definitely make a video on reprogramming your mind and talking more about the ego if you guys want that. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all so much.